All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol OCGN, Ocugen Inc. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we dive into this chart, I want every single investor and viewer to be aware that I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys towards the end of this video. So you definitely want to hang on tight, because if you don't have this one already, you definitely want to keep it on your radar. So stay tuned. I also want every single investor and viewer to be aware, if you want live updates on what ticker symbols I'm watching, you can join us on Patreon. The link is down below. So Ocugen Inc., right? It's actually pulled up. So the market today, it was falling really hard because the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 and the Dow were all feeling a little turbulent on the downside. Now, the moment we started to recover was about a few minutes after and a little bit before. Also, we were already seeing the effects, but definitely a few minutes after, the Federal Reserve jumped in middle of the day and said, hey guys, we're here, we're not leaving, we're going to continue to support the economy, and their whole language, right? The language that they talk, the Federal Reserve, that some people understand and some people don't. But what we do know, if you don't know anything about the language, is that they're here to support the economy. And when they're not in the picture, you could see what happens quickly to stocks and the overall market, right? It starts to fall. So it's been shown. I've seen a lot of analysis being said, like experts and stuff saying, hey, we're noticing that our market without the Fed, it can't sustain itself, which is pretty interesting. But anyways, enough about that. Let's jump into Ocugen and focus here. So I have a feeling, right? And I don't like to go off of feelings, but the way the market reacted today, we may find consolidation, or we might see this pick up even more starting into tomorrow, and then supposedly earnings of the companies that are coming up this second half of the week are going to kind of push upwards the market. I could be completely wrong, but it feels that way by the way I'm looking at the charts and what's going on. But then when I pull up the RSI and I pull up the MACD, it's showing that it's on its way to pulling upwards here on the MACD. But then we have light green showing up. And the moment light green shows up, it's the moment that things start to kind of go back down. So it's almost like we lift it up. We might lift up a little bit more tomorrow, and then we're going to start to pull right back down because the RSI is already showing that as well. So it's like the MACD is showing us the beginning of things turning right back down this way. And then also the RSI is telling us straight up, hey, we're going down. But then also, it's very confusing. It's a lot of things at once, I know. But then also the MACD is just at the middle here. And if it crosses over, even though the light green starts to show up and the RSI is looking pretty steep in the down direction, the stocks and the market could pull up just a little bit. So we need to see how this week goes. I know that this first beginning part of the week has been very turbulent, and we were going to see this starting. I mean, I've talked about it since last week. Are we in a crash? Are we in a correction? I'm hoping that we're not in a crash. If anything, we're in a correction, which is where opportunity meets the prepared, and we need to watch stocks closer than ever. So I have the RSI and MACD up because I want every single investor to be aware of this. The RSI is showing pulling down. The closer it gets to this line here, it could be oversold. It's really close to overbought. It didn't cross it, so it can actually fight back and kind of just hang out there like it's done in the past and kind of consolidate or even pull itself upwards a little bit more, because the MACD is about to cross the midway point even though the light green is showing up. And if these light greens turn into dark green, I mean, the stock could continue to pull upwards. I mean, that was a big drop today, earlier in the day, down to almost $6. I mean, that was a lot in one time frame, right? And then it started to run. A lot of investors that are long, they're taking the opportunity to load up on shares, and institutional investors are probably looking at these stocks closely. But things have been pretty turbulent. And when I pull up the S&P 500 index, though, it kind of shows me that, yeah, it's pulling upwards, but we have a lot of room to go downwards. because in the 30-minute, it's showing recovery. But in the 1 day, it's showing that there's still room for this to go down to the middle, and there's a lot of room for this to get oversold. So we need to pay close attention to the market. I really want every single investor to be aware of that. So here we are. Ocugen Inc. 933 is the 50-day moving average. Anything above that is bullish. Anything below that is bearish. We're in tug-of-war zone here. There was a really turbulent, right, run up and then right back down after hours in the last couple of hours. So we need to watch this closely. Our support here is 881. If that gets crossed, this could be on its way down to newer lows and new support levels. I want every single investor and viewer to be aware of this. If this gets crossed, watch closely how it reacts between this point here of $8 and 881, and how quickly is it moving downwards, or are the bulls trying to reappear and bring it back up? Now, the bulls need to break through $11. That's the highest point reached in the day. Now, before getting there, you could take a close look at 975, and if that gets crossed and it gets turned into a support, at least we know momentum is going upwards. But most importantly, $11 needs to be broken through, whether it's this week or the upcoming weeks moving forward. So I want every single investor to be aware of that as well. $11 needs to be crossed, turn into a support, so that the bulls can continue to pull upwards to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. And if you guys do and you're a first-time viewer, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And for all viewers watching, don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. Stay tuned, because we have a ticker symbol to share that you don't want to miss. So for everyone that has made it to this point in the video, if you're interested in receiving live updates on what ticker symbols I'm watching weekly or within the week as they come up, you can join us over at the private community and Patreon. The link is down below in the description, and if you can't find it down below, you can come to my main page here of the channel, and right next to the welcome video, the Patreon link should pop up. Now, once you click on it, you will be redirected over to the Patreon page, and this is a community of investors within a financial community that we're going to talk about stocks to add to your watch list, and I will be talking about what attracted me to them and giving you guys updates on what I'm seeing. So if you want to know more information, live updates before anywhere else on any other platform it's talked about, you can join us over in the community here at Patreon. Let's go ahead and jump into this chart and see what ticker symbol you guys want to go ahead and add to your watch list. So the ticker symbol here that we want to add to our watch list is ALGM, Allegro Microsystems Inc. This is definitely one I've been talking about since December, and we touched base on it when it was falling. So the last time I talked about it, I touched base on it when it was falling. We caught it right here. The first time we caught it was back here at around $24, almost $25, and it ran up to $34 and some change. I found it interesting that it was pulling back towards the end of January, and we retouched base on it here at this point when it was coming right back up in February, so investors were aware that it's picking up traction. Now, it was going sideways for some time, but from this point to this point, it's been holding up pretty well. Now, the overall market is pulling downwards. I have pulled up here the RSI and the MACD, and since it crossed and it's pulling down, these red bars have been dominating, right? No green bars in the whole month of February. Now, red bars have appeared, so this can continue to pull downwards the blue and orange line, and if it crosses below it, this could continue to pull down. It just broke through the 50-day moving average, so it's something to watch. Now, however it behaves between $28 to $24, if it doesn't break $24, it's definitely going to show some strength, and if it breaks through 24, we've already seen what this stock is capable of, and I believe in a bullish market or a market that's not that turbulent, you know, there is a lot of potential here, especially on what this company focuses on. I definitely recommend doing further due diligence on this one, but if you don't have it already on your watch list, I definitely want you guys to add it on. Keep it on your radar. Pay close attention to it. And I look forward to seeing investors' sentiment and feedback on this one since I've talked about it. And if you've been watching it since the time it was at 24, or even when we talked about it here again at $30, $29. I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts and how you feel about this company. Because I know that the last time I posted it, a lot of people were doing research and they found this one very interesting. This sector, what it's in and what it does, is pretty impressive. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.